They have done it. England are the under-21 European champions for 2025. They have won the tournament for the fourth time in their history. Thomas Tuchel flew in from the Club World Cup in America to watch, and he'll be delighted because England have won another piece of silverware. The Young Lions have done it once again. It's a second European under-21 title for Lee Carsley. He matches Dave Sexton's achievements in 1982 and 1984. It's Jonathan Rowe, the former Norwich City striker, now at Marseille, who has got the winner in extra time. England, they had to go hard. They had to dig really deep in this game after leading 2-0 after 24 minutes through Harvey Elliott and through Amari Hutchinson. But in first half added time, they conceded a header, and that really put them on the back foot. In the second half, Germany had plenty of opportunities, and just after the hour mark, they got that equaliser. Really nervy last half an hour of the match in Bratislava. It's late there right now in Slovakia, but these England players and the fans will not care because they've done it once again. Lee Carsley said that this would be the end of an era because many of these players won't be eligible to play for him anymore. He's got an extended contract. He'll be there for more tournaments to come. But these England players, that will be their last opportunity to win silverware with his under-21 side. You wonder, Thomas Tuchel watching there right now in the stadium, how many of these players will he have his eye on looking ahead to next year's World Cup for the England senior side? But Harvey Elliott, who's scored important goals already in this tournament, he's scored again, once again this evening. His future uncertain, but right now, he and Charlie Creswell, they're the only two remaining members of the title-winning squad from 2 years ago. They've done it again. 2 European titles for Creswell, Elliott and Lee Carsley. A huge achievement for this England side. They've beaten some huge names along the way. Germany unbeaten in 20 matches before this, but they've done it tonight. They've beaten the Germans, and England are crowned the under-21 European champions. OK, let's get more reactions to that result right now and speak to the former England under-18s, 19s and 20s head coach, Ian Foster. Ian, it's a remarkable achievement. They had to dig so deep, but they've done it. Give us your reaction.
Listen, I'm absolutely delighted for Lee and his staff, first and foremost. To win back-to-back titles at under-21 level is incredible for Lee and his staff, but also for Thomas and his staff as well. You know, your job in the pathway is to qualify for tournaments and then give the players the experience of going deep into them. So for Lee to win 2 tournaments on the bounce is terrific, and I'm made up for the players.
And it's been a real rollercoaster for England in this tournament. There's been that defeat to Germany in the group stage. They've had to battle hard to get their hands on this title once again. What does that show you about the resilience and the characteristics of this young side?
I think when you go into that game 3 in the group stage and it's the 2 big teams, I don't think either nation wants to quite show the hand. And I think the Germans made 11 changes. England made quite a few as well. But I just thought the team got stronger and stronger as the tournament went on. The team became a little bit more established. Team were in the knockout stages. And for long periods in tonight's final, I thought they were definitely worthy winners.
You've worked with many of these players at England age group level. Just who impressed you the most in this tournament? Many will talk about Harvey Elliott and his goals, but it's been an all-round display. Yeah,
listen, I think the likes of Jarell and Tino Livramento are now ready to go on and kick on into the senior team, and hopefully both of them will get the opportunity to do that. But I think if you look at performances across the tournament from Alex Scott in particular, who's someone who won the European Championships at under-19 level with myself, and I think he's had a fabulous tournament. But a lot of the players can be proud of what they've done on the back of a tough season in the Premier League and the Championship for some of the players. But a lot of the players, you know, I think only James Beadle from the starting 11 tonight can go on and play in another 21 tournament. So the rest of them now will be looking at senior international football.
And as you mentioned, many of these players, and Lee Carsley mentioned himself, that this is the end of an era because so many of these players won't be eligible to play in future tournaments. What sort of experience as it's been for the likes of Gerald Kwanzaa and Tino Livramento, so successful at Premier League level, but winning a title with this young England side, what do you think that will do for their careers?
Well, what it does, it helps them when they're in senior tournaments. So when they go, hopefully, deep into the World Cup next year, if those players are involved, look back on this tournament and know what it's like to be involved in such big knockout games, and that's where it helps them. It's about having those experiences to lean on. When you're playing for the senior team, the whole pathway is geared towards that. It's under 17 Euros and World Cup, same at 19s, under 20 World Cup and under 21 Euros. Going deep into those tournaments helps those players then when they're playing senior international football.
And what have you made of the job that Lee Carsley has done? He stepped in on an interim basis in the senior position, but then came back and once again sealed a trophy for his England side.
Well, look, Lee can't do any more. It'd be interesting now to see what and if offers come Lee's way and what he wants to do about that. I'm sure directors of football up and down the country will be looking at Lee's achievements over the last few years and wondering whether he's the next man to come in. I think it'd be great for English football if Lee took a job in the Premier League and showed everybody what he's capable of doing. But I think just for now, he'll be immensely proud of his achievements and he'll be rightly so.
Thomas Tuchel flew back from the Club World Cup to watch the young Lions in action this evening. Looking at this squad right now, how many of these players do you think do have a chance of playing at the World Cup for England next year?
Well, what's interesting is that, the squad that's out there in Slovakia now, this team that's just won the Euros, there's a lot of players who aren't there. Those boys who are currently in the United States, and the likes of Liam Delap, who couldn't play, Jamie Gittins, Carney Chukwuemeka. There's plenty of players that are out there who would make that squad a little bit stronger. So, like I said, I think Valentino and Jarell are close to that senior team now. It looks like Jarell's going to go and play his football in Germany, and if he's playing week in, week out in Bundesliga, then I'm sure he'll have a wonderful opportunity to make the 26 this time next year. Tino's done it all this season for Newcastle as a right and left back, showing that he's capable of playing at the highest level in the Premier League, and I think both of those players are ready to step in. It'll just be interesting to see who steps up for the club sides this year and gives Thomas those good problems to have when he's making his selection.
Lee Carsley's got a contract up until the 2027 European Under-21 Championships, a chance to do it 3 times in a row. Has he earned the opportunity to do something outside of the England Under-21s, perhaps the main job one day, but perhaps in the short term, perhaps there will be Premier League clubs that have interest in him, considering what he's done over the course of the last 3 years?
Oh, listen, he's certainly earned the right. He's done a wonderful job in the pathway for a number of years. So he's shown everybody what he's capable of in terms of his tactical knowledge, how he puts teams on the pitch and how he gets them motivated. I'm sure there will be conversations in boardrooms about Lee Carsley. Maybe not now, obviously, but in your next round of managerial sackings, if you like, later in the season, I'm sure his name will be propping up in discussions. But it'll be interesting to see what he does, because it's a long process for Lee now. It's a 2-year cycle before the next Euros. So it just depends what offers come his way, I suppose.
And this title just adds to a list of success that England age group sides have had over the course of the last few years, going back to England under-17s under Steve Cooper winning the World Cup. Just what can England do to take what they've learnt at the age group level to go and do something special on the big stage and finally win a World Cup potentially next summer? Well,
listen, Gareth and Steve did an incredible job, and they were close. Did it on 2 occasions. It's never easy, when you get to tournament football, it's never easy. There are no gimmies now at international level. It'll be difficult for England. I think you can see from the Club World Cup now how players are suffering in some of the states with the heat. So going to North America, Canada, Mexico. It's going to be very, very hot out there. But look, these players, the young players who've won tournaments in the youth phase, have done it in South Korea, they've done it in India, and that's what these experiences give them. So hopefully, we can finally get a tournament win at senior level.
And finally, Ian, great to be joined by you straight after the full-time whistle this evening. How do you sum up what the England under-21s and Lee Carsley have done over the course of the last three seasons, the last 2 years, winning back-to-back European titles?
Like you say, Lee's done everything that's asked of you as a coach in the pathway with England. We want to qualify for tournaments. We want to do it playing the England way. We want to give young players an opportunity to learn what international tournament football's about, and we want to take them deep into tournaments. And Lee's done that magnificently well. He's qualified for both tournaments quite easily, but then to go on and win both has been incredible. Everything he's done over the last, like you say, over the last 2 or 3 years, stepping into the seniors when he was needed as well. Great credit to Lee and his staff. They've done an amazing job.
Ian, thank you so much for your time and giving us the reaction, Ian, to England and European champions once more.
My pleasure, mate.